Inner calm is a superpower in a chaotic world. In a time where people react emotionally to everything, where outrage spreads faster than truth, and where noise often drowns out wisdom, the person who remains centered becomes a rare force. Calmness is not weakness. It is strength under control. When others are panicking, a calm mind can see clearly. When everyone is rushing to speak, the calm person listens, understands, and speaks only when necessary, and with power. This kind of inner stillness commands respect because it signals mastery. It shows the world that you are not ruled by circumstances, but guided by purpose. People trust the calm leader in a crisis. They remember the one who did not fall apart when the world seemed to crumble. That kind of presence leaves an impression deeper than any loud achievement. It's not about pretending that nothing affects you. It's about choosing not to be controlled by everything that does. Inner calm means standing in the fire without letting it consume you. It's a discipline, not a personality trait. It's earned through patience, awareness, and self-respect. And when you learn to carry it, people won't just notice you. They'll never forget you. Emotional mastery makes you magnetic. In a world where people wear their emotions on their sleeves and let every small inconvenience trigger a reaction, the one who can stay composed becomes a beacon of strength. It's not that you don't feel anger, fear, or sadness. You feel it all, but you don't allow it to dictate your actions. You observe your emotions, you understand them, and then you choose your response, not based on impulse, but based on clarity and control. That kind of restraint is rare, and anything rare becomes valuable. When you are emotionally grounded, people trust you more. They lean in to listen when you speak. They respect your silence because they sense it's not empty. It's full of thought, strength, and intention. The world is full of reactive people, but the person who pauses before they respond, who stays calm under pressure, who chooses grace over rage and presence over panic, that person stands out. That person is remembered. Emotional mastery doesn't mean you feel less. It means you control more. It is a quiet power, a quiet confidence, and it creates gravity around you. People feel it. And without even trying, you become unforgettable. Discipline and presence outweigh charm and popularity. Charm may grab attention, but discipline earns respect. Popularity may shine for a moment, but presence leaves a lasting imprint. The world is filled with people trying to be liked, trying to be noticed, trying to impress. But the truly unforgettable ones don't chase attention. They anchor themselves in purpose. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when no one is watching. It's waking up early, showing up consistently, and living by values even when it's inconvenient. Presence means being fully where you are, not distracted, not divided, but engaged, intentional, and aware. People remember the one who listens deeply, who looks them in the eye, who moves with certainty instead of seeking approval. Discipline gives your life structure. Presence gives it power. Together, they build a foundation that doesn't shake when the world tries to push you off course. Charm fades. Trends change. Crowds shift. But a life built on discipline and presence is steady, focused, and impossible to ignore. You don't need to speak louder than others when your life speaks for itself. In a world chasing attention, being grounded and focused is what truly makes you unforgettable. You don't rise by reacting, you rise by responding. Every situation in life gives you a choice. You can react impulsively, emotionally, and without thought, or you can respond with clarity, control, and intention. Reaction is immediate and usually rooted in ego or fear. It adds fuel to the fire and often makes things worse. But a response comes after reflection. It's deliberate. It's measured. It's the mark of someone who is not a slave to emotion, but a master of it. The world is full of people who explode under pressure, who speak before they think, and who regret their actions later. But the person who takes a breath, who pauses, who sees the bigger picture before acting, That person rises above the noise. They are respected not for being loud, but for being wise. They make better decisions because they're not controlled by temporary emotions. They avoid unnecessary conflict and stand firm when others lose control. This ability to respond instead of react is what sets leaders apart. It builds trust, it commands respect, it makes you reliable and powerful without needing to dominate. In every storm, the calm responder stands out. And in standing out, they rise. Silence, purpose, and virtue command attention. In a world addicted to noise, the person who can remain silent becomes a mystery, and mystery is powerful. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every opinion needs to be shared. When you choose silence, you choose depth. People begin to wonder what you're thinking, what you know, what strength lies behind your quiet eyes. That silence, paired with a strong sense of purpose, becomes magnetic. When you move through life with direction, not drifting from one distraction to another, people notice. They may not always understand you, but they will respect the fact that you stand for something. And when your actions are rooted in virtue, honesty, courage, discipline, humility, you create a presence that speaks without saying a word. You don't need to be loud when your character makes the noise. Your quiet discipline, your consistent values, your unwavering focus, these are what make you unforgettable. While others compete to be seen, you earn your place simply by being aligned with something greater than ego. True presence doesn't need to announce itself. It simply enters the room and everything shifts. Because silence guided by purpose and virtue carries the kind of weight the world cannot ignore. The unforgettable live by values, not validation. When your actions are rooted in personal principles instead of the opinions of others, you become free. Most people spend their lives chasing approval. They adjust who they are to be liked, accepted, or praised. But the truth is, validation from the outside is fleeting. It changes with trends, moods, and the shifting opinions of the crowd. What lasts is a life built on values, integrity, discipline, honesty, courage. These are the foundations that do not crumble under pressure. When you live by values, your path becomes clear, even when the world tries to confuse you. You don't need applause to keep going. You don't need attention to feel worthy. You move with purpose because you know who you are and what you stand for. People admire that. They may not always agree with you, but they respect your consistency. And over time they remember you. Not for trying to please everyone, but for standing firm when it mattered. Living for validation makes you forgettable because it makes you like everyone else. Living by values makes you unforgettable because it makes you unshakable. And in a world full of noise, that kind of clarity is rare and powerful.